Hold up. Yeah.
Hi.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Fox2Do98 here, and welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on my channel. Today we are back with my F1 2016 Career Mode Season 4 Part 12 here for the German Grand Prix. And I hope you guys are having an awesome day. If you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to click that like button. It'd be absolutely awesome. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you have not subscribed to my channel already. And feel free to share the video around and share this channel around so more people can see this channel. And that'd be much appreciated. But as you can see then, we made the one upgrade from the previous race, which I believe was chassis weight, in order to really help out with extra downforce and stuff. Now, as you can see, we have made two upgrades on the engine, the chassis weight, and also the downforce. Now, we just need to be looking at the drag and then potentially fuel efficiency for further on. But as you can see, in the driver's standings, we've got a 41-point lead over Lewis Hamilton after the results in the previous race. If you have not checked out the previous episode, I highly recommend that you go and do so you can catch up to where we are in this series right now. And there is what we're doing at the moment. We have currently got a podium in every single Grand Prix so far, apart from the British Grand Prix, which is an absolute nightmare. But we have gone way past that now, and we bounced back in Hungary. But as you can see then, we're moving on into the track acclimatization test, and we do that with fine colours, getting a nice purple lap here. Onto the tyre wear test we go, which is on the soft tyres here. You can see that we actually do that very, very nicely as well. I believe we got purples everywhere, and then we got two greens, which was way more than enough to beat the target there. And then moving on into the qualifying simulation run here, you can see that we're on the super soft tyres, about to go and set the fastest lap, and that is going to put us well up there, and that is going to be a purple lap, and that is us done and dusted for the practice sessions. No problems whatsoever, and that is mean we're going to be gathering a lot of resource points. We definitely want to be stacking these up. Of course, we've got some high-speed circuits coming up, so we may want to look at trying to get some more less drag maybe on the car, or maybe save up for another engine upgrade, but that won't be able to come for Belgium probably, so we'll have to see what we can do. But anyway, we're going to be moving on and having a look at the session goals now for qualifying, and we're going to be seeing where we are at in terms of the session objectives. So let's have a look then. So qualifying goals are kind of the same really. It's beat Vettel, beat Hamilton, and qualify on the front row. So very, very strong qualifying objectives from the team. Into Q1 we go, then you can see that it's intermediate conditions. Unfortunately, the rain is falling here in Q1. It was, in terms of rain forecasted for the weekend, this was the only point in the entire weekend that we were expected to see some rain. So that's exactly what we've got. So we came through and set the fastest lap of Q1 here, and eventually we come across the line. And in fact, there are three drivers that went out on the super soft tyres because the track did actually dry out at the end of the session. And I believe that's Magnussen, Felipe Nasr, and Pascal Wehrlein. Yes. Who all went out on super soft tyres and set a lap time that was about 8 seconds quicker than all of us. Anyway, into Q2 we go then. You can see that we're coming around the last corner here on the super soft tyres, and now we're looking to try and pounce across the line here. We set the fastest final sector, but unfortunately we were still about 3/10 off the pace here as I go and crash into that DRS board. Unfortunately, my middle sector on that lap was not very good, and we unfortunately only finished 3/10 behind Vettel, but of course we can improve in the next lap. So as you can see here, into Q3 we are now. The sun is shining after the rain in Q1, and as you can see, round the final corner we go here, and this was pretty much an all but spotless lap for myself here, across the start-finish line. Are we going to get pole position for the German Grand Prix? It was a stunning lap for myself, and I made sure that I got everything nailed, and there it is, guys. It is pole position for the German Grand Prix. Myself and Vettel on the front row, with Hamilton, Rosberg, Verstappen and then Ricciardo, and then the two Williams drivers rounding off the top 8, and then I believe it's someone else on the grid, I'm not really sure. But anyway, a perfect qualifying session for myself, exactly what we needed. We needed to bounce back after the qualifying session in Hungary, which was okay actually. We got third in Hungary, but it feels nice to be back on pole position, and we need to start getting this consistency running, coming back, and also the driver position is crucial as well. But anyway, guys, that is it for practice and also for qualifying. Let's get into the main event, which is obviously the race for the German Grand Prix.
I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. It's Ferrari in pole position then, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Hamilton, Rosberg, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Massa, Bottas, Button and Sergio Perez, Alonso, Kvyat, Carlos Sainz and Magnussen, Wehrlein, Nasser, Romain Grosjean and Nico Hülkenberg, Palmer and Gutierrez, Rio Haryanto and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright then guys, as you can see we're on the grid now here for the German Grand Prix, and we're going to be doing a 3-stop strategy as there is a high tyre wear here around the, where is this one? Hockenheim. So we're going to be starting on the super soft tyres and then making the switch to softs, and then another switch to softs and then to mediums. But we're going to do something a little bit different. Now, I've always felt that I'm a little bit slow in the races. So what I've gone and done here is I've actually gone and underfueled the cars. So I've actually put less fuel in, because normally when you start a race you get about 1.3 plus of fuel. However, I've decided that I'm going to run a lot lighter, and potentially that may help me in terms of my speed on Ultimate AI, because I still feel that I'm lacking something. So maybe, just maybe, having less fuel in the car will help us out. But as you can see, we're on the grid now for the German Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights and it is lights out, and away we go for the German Grand Prix. And it's a good start from us. It's another bad start from Sebastian Vettel. Again, he can't get off the line, and Hamilton goes flying through into second, and myself and Hamilton come through, and I break the DRS board. It's like I really wide into turn 1 there. Obviously the DRS board was not very useful in practice either. But as you can see, down into this difficult turn 2 here, and now towards turn 3, we are still in the lead here. Hamilton is in second, Vettel drops to third now, and you can see Lewis is already in the slipstream of my car here as we come flying now down this sort of back straight-ish. It's really more of a left-handed kink. As you can see here, Hamilton very close, but he's not going to get the job done, unfortunately. However, you can already see there's a big gap between the top 3. In fact, you can see it there on the mini-map. Myself, Hamilton and Vettel are far ahead of the drivers behind, so something has gone on behind because there's been some contact somewhere, because they can't be that far back. And we will get a replay of that start, but you can already see here Hamilton giving us a lot of pressure early on in the early stages of the race here in front of the Mercedes home crowd, really. But as you can see, we've got a replay of the start because there was contact. We're going to go and look at it now. So it was actually with Nico Rosberg. So as you can see, he's got a very deep inside line into... Oh, he's been tapped by someone. Oh, and he's been absolutely nailed by one of the Red Bulls. Let's go and... let's go and watch this. So with Ricciardo, so Rosberg has gone for a very, very strange line. Of course, this is a high-speed corner. So he comes into turn 1. Ricciardo taps Rosberg into Verstappen. Verstappen spins Rosberg round, and then Ricciardo clatters into the side of Rosberg there. So a very scruffy start indeed from the 2 Red Bull drivers, and indeed Nico Rosberg, as that's not exactly going to help them. On to lap 2 of the Grand Prix. Things are going well for myself, actually. The fueling the car lighter is working a treat, and we're pulling away from Lewis Hamilton at the moment out front. And everything is actually going well for us. But unfortunately, it's not going well for Jenson Button. His race is over. Now, as you can see, he's chasing after Sergio Perez. Into the stadium section we go. And unfortunately, his engine has blown out. And unfortunately, that unreliability of the Honda engine comes back to strike Jenson yet again. On to lap 4 of the Grand Prix now. My gap is getting even bigger out front. So this definitely... filling the car using a lighter fuel mode is really helping us out here. But we're going to be coming in for our scheduled pit stop here at the end of the 4th lap. Now, as you can see here, the Ferrari mechanics are waiting for me, and we're going to go into the soft tyres, and then we're going to be pitting 2 more times in the Grand Prix before we actually finish. As you can see, there is a Red Bull coming in, I believe. That is Max Verstappen in his Red Bull, or it can't be Daniel Ricciardo, because Ricciardo's at the back of the field, because he did have to come in for a front wing change. But as you can see, luckily for myself, I've managed to rejoin ahead of a big heap of cars. You can see it on the mini-map there, a hell of a lot of cars, all racing hard against each other. Luckily, I managed to build a nice good gap at the start of the race, and all is well for us. But on to lap 12 of the Grand Prix now. Yeah, nothing really happened, to be honest. So I checked the tyre wear, and unfortunately, I had about 50 to 60% tyre wear on the front left tyre. And that was definitely a really cause for concern for myself. So what I've decided to do is I decided to pit a little bit early. Now, I do believe that my pit stop was either lap 13 or lap 14. We're coming in on lap 12, so it's not really a massive issue for us. I just didn't know if the tyre would be able to go the distance that I was set. So I decided to just take the precautionary pit stop. I was losing a little bit of time, and I know Vettel came in a little bit earlier as well, because Vettel went from super softs to another set of super softs, and then he pitted for softs. However, we did actually jump out in front of Vettel, and we've got Felipe Massa in front of us, who we will get past in due course. So all is looking fine for us at the moment. I just took that pit stop as a precautionary. On to lap 20 of the Grand Prix, and yeah, same thing really. Nothing happened in the second stint either. So we're coming in for our final pit stop of the Grand Prix. Literally, this German Grand Prix has not had a lot of action, but we've got some problems here, because I'm coming into the pits on lap 20, and I think you just saw it there. Vettel's coming in the same lap as myself, so unfortunately, Vettel's going to get held up. My pit stop was 1.9 seconds, just waiting, and now they're servicing the car. So yeah, Vettel did get held up, so I called to box at the end of the lap. This was not a scheduled pit stop for me. I came in earlier again, because again, a bit more tyre wear, and I just didn't want to keep losing time. However, we've got a bit of a situation here. So Lewis Hamilton is leading this race. He's done a 2-stop at the moment, so he's maximising a 2-stop strategy, and it's working for him. He's got track position, whereas now myself is under a bit of pressure. On to lap 30 of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, Hamilton is pulling away out front. And once again, I've had a problem with the engine. I've got more engine wear in the car. Nothing I can do about it, and I'm going to have a less power deployment. And Hamilton's pulling away now, and Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari is getting a lot closer. So my teammate Fancy's taking advantage of my engine deployment problems. You can already see the difference in straight line speed between myself and Sebastian Vettel. Into the hairpin we go, and we're just in front of Vettel for the time being here. But as you can see, Vettel's going to have some supreme traction coming out of the hairpin. You can see he's going to go to the outside line here for this right-handed kink, and he goes through there. Sebastian Vettel with a great move, but we're going to duck underneath him and go to the inside here on Sebastian Vettel, and it's going to be a climatic battle to the end of the Grand Prix. We've got 5 laps to go. Can we hold off Vettel for the time being? Hamilton's too far ahead. I can't catch and pass Hamilton. So now my goal is I'm just going to stick in front of Vettel and to try and limit the points difference between myself and Hamilton. But you can see here, Vettel gets us tremendous traction out of this corner. You can see from the helicopter cam. Just look how fast he is in a straight line compared to myself. Yes, he's got DRS, but we're actually going to stick it into the slipstream of Vettel, and we're going to go down the inside into the hairpin. Here we go, inside line, nice and done there, and we are back into second place. But Vettel will get good traction out of this corner. You can already see, in fact, the traction he's got, and you can see him closing into the right-hander. Not going to be enough for him, which means we don't have to defend into this corner, which we did last time. But the drama is happening late on in this German Grand Prix, and we've just got to keep holding our ground against Sebastian Vettel. But look at the speed that he got out of this corner into the stadium section. Vettel will try it down the inside. Will Vettel make this one stick? I'm going to hang it round the outside here, and Vettel has to lift off as the stadium section just gets too tight for Vettel to make any sort of manoeuvre. And to lap 32 of the Grand Prix now, and Vettel is right behind us once again here, and we've got Romain Grosjean in front of us, but he's not going to cause any sort of concern in this part of the race. You can see I run a little bit wide onto the curbing here. Vettel is going to go for a move once again. Is he going to the outside? No, he's going to the inside line. And Vettel takes the same move again, but we're going to do what we did last time. Dive into the slipstream of Vettel and take that late braking move down the inside into the hairpin. Nice and cool, nice and calm, and also crucially nice and clean against my teammate Vettel. And we are up into second place in this German Grand Prix. But again, Vettel is really desperate for it. On to lap 33 of the Grand Prix, 2 more laps to go. Grosjean is a back marker, and we are going to get in front of him nice and cleanly there. And crucially, he's now blocking Vettel for a little bit, so maybe that'll help me out on this back straight, but it's not actually going to help me out at all. Vettel comes flying through past Grosjean. DRS is activated, and he can see the amount of power and the amount of speed, and Vettel just comes flying through here. Going to take that inside line. We're going to brake a little earlier, and then we're going to switch in on Vettel. A beautiful switchback move down the inside into the hairpin, and we're going to hold our own against Sebastian here. What a brilliant piece of driving from the pair of us here. But Vettel's still not going to give in. Vettel's still going to fight this one. Round the outside, we're going to have to fend this off, just literally riding the curb on the outside line here. Down the inside on Sebastian Vettel, and he's still there. We've still got to give him some space, but we're going to chop off that inside line as the entrance into the stadium section, and we once again are clear of Vettel for the time being. Onto the final lap of the Grand Prix. Vettel is still closing. He's actually making a bit of contact with us here as he tries to squeeze around the outside, but it's not going to work for him. We are going to fend off that outside line against Sebastian Vettel, and he's going to have to sit back, wait a little bit longer until he can get that move up to put the car into rich fuel mixture. Vettel is not close enough though. However, we've got some pretty horrible tyre wear at the moment, but we're going to just about try and trundle across. Vettel here closing, but he's not close enough on this lap to make that crucial move into the hairpin with the DRS. So we have got a lifeline here, and Vettel is still all over, as you can see how close Vettel is. He could try to hit. No, he's not. He's just too far back to make that move, and luckily we can stay in front for a little longer here. Down the inside we go, and we're all looking good here as we're coming towards the stadium section. Oh, great. Look at the front left tyre. Look at the front left tyre. We have driven so fast, but yeah, we have a puncture. Race winner goes to Lewis Hamilton, and my defending against Sebastian Vettel is, well, it's all but over really. We drove the living daylights out of this car. We gave it absolutely everything in the Grand Prix, and we defended so well from Vettel. The amount of battling we did, but unfortunately, the puncture is there. Now, I don't know where Felipe Massa is, so we may not even get on the podium here as we're literally trying to trundle across the line here. That's a Sauber there, and then the car behind that is Felipe Massa, so we do come across the line. That's the Sauber. We might see Massa. There is Massa. So we only claimed third place, but absolutely gutting. We had an absolutely amazing battle with Sebastian Vettel. Toto Wolff is so happy there with Lewis Hamilton taking the win. He maximised the two-stop strategy. But yeah, I don't know what I can say, to be honest. I mean, the first stint was perfect on the super soft tyres. We did the strategy, did it nice and well, came into the pits. We built a nice gap, so definitely in future Grand Prix, I will be putting my car a lot lighter in terms of fuel, because it definitely helps out. So if you are struggling, guys, in terms of trying to beat the AIs, definitely fuel the car a lot lighter. I didn't try it before. I thought, why don't I just try something different, and I did, and it definitely does work. The soft tyre stints were amazing, but honestly, I think it was just the hardcore battling with Sebastian Vettel that just literally made the medium tyre give way so late on into the final sector. We'd fended off Vettel in the hardest parts of the circuit, and then the tyre blew up, and that's kind of that. But at the end of the day, we had a blow up with Mercedes, and we had a blow up with Red Bull, and both of those cost us the entire Grand Prix. And it meant that we didn't score any points. Luckily, we still managed to finish on the podium despite the tyre blowout, but we could have got second at the end of the day, and that means that Lewis Hamilton is going to take the race win here today. There's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to have to ponder the third place. We started from pole position. Hamilton definitely got a better strategy than us today, outsmarted our team, and we just couldn't quite take them to distance, which means that the gap between myself and Hamilton closes now to 31 points in the championship, so it's now 10 points deduction. Of course, I was hoping to make it 7 points as a deduction as a minimum, but unfortunately that has expanded. And in the constructors' standings, Ferrari increase our lead over Mercedes by 2 points. The gap is now 7 points in the standings, but it is still super tight in the constructors' standings between myself and Mercedes-Benz. But we are going to be making one upgrade for today's video, and you can also see that we beat Lewis Hamilton in the rivalry, which is very good for us. But guys, if you did enjoy today's Grand Prix, feel free again to click that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and feel free to just share this video around, share the channel around. That'd be absolutely awesome, and it'll be much appreciated. We are going to be making an upgrade to the drag, but until then, guys, I will see you for the Belgian Grand Prix, which will be next. So until then, guys, take care, peace.